how to approach women. There's a million different things, but the first thing you got to do is approach women. Okay, you have to go. Now that we got that out the way, what are some things that you could do? One is spotting things that a girl may have on, what she's reading, being interested in her, being interested in what she's doing, being interested in what she has on, right? Being interested in what she's watching. If you're interested, then you're interesting. People love to explain where they come from, who they are. People love to give their thoughts and opinion. Most people do, right? So if you can find something that's interesting, you can find something that you have in common that she's interested in, then you can if you can find common ground, then you can begin to build a relationship. I was in Miami, right? And I'm at the beach. I'm hollering, you know, I was kind of nervous, right? Because how do I talk to these girls? And you know, my background, I've literally approached thousands upon thousands of women in my lifetime. So I saw this girl, she's reading a book. She's reading a book in the sand. I saw her booty first and her body, because her body was like snatched or whatever, and the booty in the sand is like that. What's that boo? That Snoop Dogg, yeah, and I just want you to know, you know, it was a part where he was dusting her booty off. That's how her booty looked, right? It was this fine Puerto Rican brown skinned girl in Miami, and so I looked at her, I was like, damn, her ass is fat. She looked good, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get her pregnant. I didn't think that, but that's what my body was saying. Like, she looked fertile as fuck, right? So I saw her booty. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go talk to her. And as I was approaching her, I was like, what I'm gonna say? I should read that book. I was like, I seen it. I heard about that book before. It was called A Kite Runner. And I was like, I heard it was like about two gay boys or something like that in Afghanistan. And so I said, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm good. I was like, I heard about that book before. I've never read it. What is it about? And she was like, oh, it's about two gay dudes and whoop, 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 and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, why would you read that? She was like, oh, I'm actually like, you know, bisexual or lesbian. I was like, oh, that's what's up. You know, we got to kicking it, talking or whatever about her sexuality, you know, and women versus men, feminine characteristics versus masculine characteristics, just things that I know. Start talking about sex. I told her about the ATL sex party. You know, I was describing it in details. Don't start talking about sex. That's a whole different story. I have to give you instructions on that. But I started talking about the ATL orgy party where I had sex with these 5 girls, you know, and she, you know, I could see her mind get like, start turning. She like, oh yeah, I'm about that life too, you know what I mean? Like, I'm into that freaky shit too. I'm like, oh, that's what's up, you know what I mean? We kept talking. We talked for like an hour just about subject, feminism. She was a feminist. Women aggression sexually, women raping dudes, because a girl kind of raped me before. I had this whole thing where I talked to her about like women are really female niggas, and she's getting, the conversation is just so fascinating, right? We walk. She said, you want to get some food? I said, yeah, let's go. We walking across the street, and in the middle of the street on Miami Beach, we hold hands, and as soon as we got to the next side, we started kissing. It was like passion. It was dope, right? It was like blah 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 blah, right? It was dope. We got the sushi, and she was like, yeah, you know, I Ubered her. I'm like, I'll take you home. She was like, cool. Went to my car in the parking garage, fucked in the parking garage, slap her on the booty, turn around, flip her over, you know, I drove to her where she lived, fucked again on the side, you know, on the side of the car by her house, you know what I mean? And she was just really, really cool. And she was like, you know, I'm about to take a trip back to Puerto Rico. But when I get back, we're gonna have a threesome or whatever, because I know you like that shit. And I'm like, cool. Thank you for introducing me to the life, you know. And so The way that happened is because, one, I was interested in her. I was interested in her. And the way that happened, number two, or the first principle, is that I approached her, of course, but I found something. A way to spark, a way to open up a conversation, or something to say. That's the easiest way. So like if you, that's easy. You find something in common. You be interested about something that they're interested in, and start talking. Find something to compliment. Find something to ask a question about. Find something to approach her with, to talk to her with, right? And you can not only do this with women, you can do this to anybody. I would say this: approaching new people can fill a lot of people with anxiety, right? A lot of men don't approach women unless they're drunk in a club, they fucked up, they high, they don't give a fuck or whatever, right? Because it can be pressure. So this is what I want you to do. This is what you do. Not to get a number, not to fuck, not to even flirt if you don't want to. I want you to start approaching people, not just women, but women also, but start approaching people and start conversations. Start approaching women and asking for the time, the direction. Start approaching people and opening your motherfucking mouth. Start approaching people, asking questions, asking suggestions. Let the conversation flow. And that's a way to get into conversating with people that are low stakes. If you do that, then you can have, that's one of the keys to having success with women and approaching women. So first you gotta approach. Find something in common. Find something to start a conversation with and let it flow. Anyway, Locko's Logic. Y'all tell me what you think. Peace.